Good afternoon, champions. So I hope you had a great weekend. So just want to this time to welcome you to a new week, and I'd just like us to go straight into the analysis and see what the markets have to say. So today we'll be analyzing EURUSD and AUDUSD. So EURUSD together with AUDUSD. So let us just jump straight into the charts. Okay. So you can see the pattern that you are currently seeing. That is the pattern of from the weekly time frame. So as I said the last time that I was analyzing with you guys, that you can see that this is a point of resistance, but I'm hoping that we are going to experience. I'm still waiting for the breakout to the upside. That's why you're seeing this long position that I've placed it here. So I'm currently waiting for just a breakout to the upside, then a small confirmation. That's why you can see that it is a little bit far away from this trend line, because in this area I'll be waiting for my confirmation. So and then after that confirmation, that is when that I'll be getting into the trade. Yeah. So that is cool. That is it. So then I move on to the lower time frame. So from the lower time frame, you can see now you can have a clear view how the market is moving on an uptrend. So I can just do that and then uh, so that you can be able to see how the markets are moving. So this is the current movement of the market. That is how the markets have been moving, and you can see we have been moving in between this point of consolidation at this point here. But I'm expecting that the markets are going to, after touching this trend line, you can see that we had several touches to this trend line below here, but generally the market is still moving to the upside. So hopefully we are going to experience a break, a move to the upside here. Then we are going to experience a breakout out of this trend line. I was expecting it to take place in this place, but then it since moved down. So I'm hoping that it's going to move up, and then we are going to experience a breakout out of this position, then on this trend line here, and then after that we are going to have a move to this point here, and then we are going to experience now a move to the upside. That is what I'm expecting. This is the point that I'm expecting the markets to break out to the upper position. Still the markets are still on consolidation. If I can zoom in so that you can be able to have a clear view what I'm trying to explain. So you can see the markets have been playing in between this consolidation here. We've been having several triangles, a move to the upside, a move to the downside. So you can see after touching this point of resistance at this point, it moved to the downside here. We are still experiencing some small move to the upside, and then they return back to touch this trend line here. But hopefully this time round, when it moves to the outside, it's going to experience a breakout here, and then we're going to have a possible move to the upside. Yeah, that is what I'm hoping. hmm So we move on to the hourly time frame. That is the 4 hourly time frame. So you can see now. I hope you are able to get from the previous time frame of what we are expecting. So let me remove that first. So you can see that the market have started moving to the upside with a particular pattern, and that is what I'm trying to capitalize at this point. So you can see here I've got a great plan here. So I'm hoping that the markets are going to move to the upside. I think I gave this signal 5 minutes ago. So you can see that here the trend line after this point. So we're expecting this to move to the upside. Have some. Let me just take this. So currently here we are expecting the market to move to the upside up to this point. Since this is a point of resistance, we are going to have a move up to that point. Then you are going to experience a breakout out of this position here. Then since there is a point of support, you are going to experience some small move to the downside here, and then a move to the upside. Possibly, we may experience some small consolidation in this place. Then finally, the markets are going to move to the upside. That is what I'm expecting. So let us move to the 1 hour time frame. So now from the 1 hour time frame, I think this is where you can have a clear view, a very perfect view of what the markets are trying to do. So you can see that after touching this trend line here, you can see a beautiful move. You can see that we have got several moves to the upside with a particular pattern here. So when the market touched this point here, so you can see that it moved to this direction. Then after touching here, I'm expecting it to move to this point here. Then I'm expecting it to later move on, touching this trend line. Then you're going to experience some breakout here. Then a small, since it is going to behave as a point of support here. So we are going to have some small consolidation in this point here, and then finally we are going to have a move to the upside. So that is it. So I think I gave this signal here where we are. Let me move to the 30. I think I gave it from the 30. Yeah, this is the time frame. A very small position that I gave this signal. So you can see it is still at that point. So the same way that it was moving from the hourly time frame, the same way that it is still moving even to the minutes time frame. And you can see that after a move to this point here, so you can see that after touching this point here, we had a move to the downside here. So we had some small touches to this side here. Then you have a move to the upside at this point. Then we are going to experience some small consolidation. That's why I gave this short position at that point. Then you're going to experience a breakout to the upside. So we are risking a total of 100 pips for a risk. We are risking 100 pips to get a reward of 472 pips, which is good. So that is in terms of ratio 4 is to 67. Yeah, fantastic work. So that is the plan that I have for AUDUSD. I hope you were able to understand it. And then we move on now to what? To EURUSD, another pair. Okay. So let me do this first. Let me do it first. Let you not have any confusion. Yeah, so this long position that is here is just to give me a clear view of how the markets are moving. So this is our weekly time frame. This is our weekly time frame. So you can see the markets have been moving. I won't go back to what I was talking about of touching the upside. I know you have understood by now. So currently, so we had this touch at this point here. So we had a move to the upside. I'm still expecting a breakout to the upside at this point. So currently we're experiencing some small, it is very normal for markets when they want to change their direction to the upside to take some small, a move to or some backups, on some retracements and those sort of things. But finally, I'm expecting them to, I'm expecting them to have a clear breakout because you can see the kind of patterns that they're creating as they are moving to the upside. If I may remove this. So I've got a lot of things that I need to correct here. But yeah, that's a clear view because some of the misses are from the lower time frame that we are seeing that they are trying to appear from this time frame. Okay, so we have got this pattern that is still moving to the downside. Okay, but it won't affect much of what we are planning on the long term. That is from the weekly time frame. I think it won't affect much. So you can see that the markets have been moving with a particular pattern here. So you can clearly see how the markets have been moving with a clear pattern. So I'll move to this place here. So you can see several touches to the upside created a point of support here, then a touch to the upside, then we had a move to this downside to this point of support, also touching this trend line here. So and then we had some sort of a move to the upside. You can see that this is a very strong point of support. If I can be able to do this, so this is a very strong point of resistance. I think you're able to see. Yeah, so this is a very strong point of resistance here. So making a market to move to the upside at this position is going to be a little bit kind of, let me just remove that, went against my prediction, so I have to remove it. So but you can clearly see that it's still going according to our plans. So you can see that we had a touch to this side, then you had a move to this downside here, then currently the markets are moving to the outside. So you had a touch here, then the markets moved, started getting some point of support there, and then we have a clear move here. So you have got three candlesticks, three green candlesticks. Hopefully, I'm expecting the markets to make this first breakout. And if I'm going to have a clear confirmation, so I'm going to get in with a buy. And then I'm expecting them to also have this second breakout here. Then they are going to move to this point of resistance here. We are going, which I'm going to experience some small consolidation. Then you are going to have a clear move to the upside. So let us move to the hourly time frame so that you can have a clear view. So to the hourly time frame, this is still what I was planning. I was trying to plan for this, but since it has decided to make a breakout here, so make sure that you always change. We don't control what is happening in the market. All that we can do is just to accept what happens in the market, and then we just move with the kind of movement that the markets are making. So currently we can see that we had a breakout, we had a clear confirmation. I was still waiting for the last confirmation. uh, I'll be making a YouTube video on the candlestick confirmation, but for now you can see that I think I talked about this last time, that I usually wait for five candlestick confirmation for me to get into a trade. So by now you can see that I was clearly waiting for the kind of the last confirmation here, but then the last confirmation came out. That's a green candlestick. So clearly moving against what I was planning. So I never got into that trade, and I think I gave this sign earlier on in the group. So you can see that we have a move to the upside here. So clearly I'm expecting a breakout of this position. Then that breakout, I think it is going to give me a confirmation to, let me just zoom out. So it is going to give me, if it breaks out of this point of resistance, I'm expecting to capitalize up to this point here. So let me see my risk to reward ratio here. So beautiful. So that is 300, risking a total of. So for this trade, I can only risk 100 pips. Yeah. So that's a straight position. But if it breaks out of this position and moves to this point, that is when that I'm going to get into that trade, and that is a nice position. So what I wanted to talk about also is the lot size selection. I usually give signals, but then on the part of lot size, I think you decide depending on your account. So I cannot give you a specific lot size to work with. So it depends on the kind of account you're working on. If you're working on small accounts is maybe from $5. I think growing a small account may need a lot of risk management. So make sure that you use a small, because lot size is part of the risk management. You cannot use a very large lot size and you have got a very small account. Yeah, so that is it. So please make sure that you uh, you put that into consideration as you are making your analysis. So thank you guys for your time, and I hope that you're going to have a great week, a profitable week, and may the tips be with you.